clients of gun dog trainer John Cook come from all over the country for his specialist training. Today, John Mills has brought his dog Bracken along.
Right, Mr. Mills, don't send him straight away.
Apart from John's expertise, his training school on the Mendips offers both handlers and dogs unparalleled opportunities to train under realistic conditions.
Don't let him shake. Bracken, come on. Come on. Sit him up, pop him on the lead.
But the ultimate facility that John has to offer is a 2.5-acre enclosed pen housing all the sorts of wildlife a dog might come across on a shoot or at field trials. None of the animals or birds that John uses for training purposes are ever harmed, as no dog is allowed into the pen until John is absolutely certain it won't chase the game.
Up. You ready? Watch your dog. We do lots of simple things, rabbit skins on elastics, to get the dog going, to simulate a situation before we go in the pen. And if it can't do all these simulated situations, then I wouldn't allow a dog to go into the pen. If your dog was let off a lead and he chases all the birds everywhere, the shoot captain is not going to be very happy.
Bracken, come here. Come here.
He's taught me basically everything that I know. I thought I knew a few things, but I didn't really. He's taught me that discipline is one of the main things. And without that and respect from the dog, you won't get anywhere.
You're going to stay in a straight line. You've been coming here long enough now to have this dog, you staying in a straight line, and the dog's doing the work. Okay?
All right.
So
I shouldn't be giving him any hand signals at all.
well, let me put, when I say hand signals, I don't mean this. That is a retrieve, and you're actually giving the dog the wrong information. You're actually telling it to get away from you. Do you want that dog to get away from you?
No.
Right then, well, that's the information you're giving it.
Right.
Right, where you go.
Come on, Bracken.
Right, bring him back to you, John. Bring him back.
Up.
Bring him back.
Heel, come on. Come here.
I have had untrainable handlers, but in the end we get something out of them. So they're always pleased with just that little that they get, although it's very difficult.
Yeah.
I've gone through this before with you. You've forgotten, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. True.
Okay, right hand again.
Yeah.
Well, I think with John, what you see is what you get. I think as long as you come with the attitude that you're not going to be offended or take offence at anything, everything's okay. I think he's harder on me. Yeah, I think he's harder on me.
Autumn, and the shooting season has arrived. For John and his dogs, it's a busy time with field trials and organised shoots. But today on Exmoor, he's doing what he enjoys most, rough shooting with some friends and his dogs. Although the weather's grim, for the dogs it's ideal.
They get very hot, these dogs, when they're working, and this mist today has cooled them down. Secondly, scent is always better when we have damp, humid days like we are today, because it is quite humid today. On this rough shoot, I was working 4 dogs. They're all very experienced dogs. In fact, 3 of them have actually won field trials. I always only work 2 dogs at one given time, and I have 2 dogs walking to heel. And the reason for that is that these dogs put a lot of effort into their work, and they go at tremendous speed, and they're pushing through heavy cover, and they get very, very tired very quickly. So I alternate the 2 working with the 2 that I have walking to heel. Because of the nature of the ground that we work, a lot of the undergrowth that the dogs tackle, we wouldn't know if there's any obstacles in there. It is a very, very dangerous thing for the dogs to do.
And on this occasion, one of John's dogs suffers an injury.
They're very courageous dogs, and even when they do injure themselves, they just continue throughout the day. We have to obviously take that to the vet this afternoon to get that stitched up.
With the injured dog replaced, the shoot continues.
The purpose of this type of shooting today is we don't shoot very much, and what we do shoot, we take home and we prepare and we eat. All these things, these wild things, there's no antibiotics, there's no additives. What we do shoot is pure wholesome food, and we thoroughly enjoy it. Unfortunately, we haven't had a very successful day regards bag-wise, but the day has been absolutely brilliant. The dogs have thoroughly enjoyed themselves. We've gone through some lovely terrain, but it isn't all about the bag at the end of the day. It's all about enjoying yourself and being out in lovely countryside with very good company.
Probably full of that.
Luckily left the rest of the dogs in, we wouldn't get any sausages.
There's somebody's company that John treasures more than most. It's the dog who put him on the map as a top gun dog trainer. British field champion Robbinsmore Sam of Flintwood, or just plain Sam to John. Now an old boy at 13 who just goes along for the ride and the sausages.
A fantastic dog, never given me any problems. A dog that after the first championship, the Americans came along to me and said, would I sell it to them? And I said, you haven't got enough money to buy it. And they offered me £15,000 for it. And I said, it's not enough money. I wouldn't have sold it for £100,000. So it is a special dog. And as I say, the competitive side, I'll never have another dog like it. I call it a dog in a lifetime. Because of all the success of this dog and the temperament of the dog, he's joined us in the house for the rest of his life, and he sits on the best chairs and he has the best food. So now I'm repaying him what he's done for me in the past. I can't imagine my life being without dogs, although perhaps, like everyone with jobs, there is times where you say, I'd like to be in another profession, but I think that if I took another profession, then I would miss the dogs so much, I'd have to go back into it. So I think the answer is never go out of it, because they are part of my life. They're all my life. I just love the job. I just love having dogs around me, and I love the dogs and the dogs love me, because it's a relationship. And remember one thing, that whatever we do to these dogs, they never answer back, unlike humans. So they're always very, very faithful.